A lot of the mistakes that we'll see are people grabbing stock photos and then photoshopping their product into stock photos. And
Oh,
when they
wow.
do that, they get the scale and the size wrong. And sometimes it just looks off.
Hey, everyone. Vince Montero here with the Trivium Group. And thank you for joining another interview that we are doing to share different expertise in the Amazon FBA space. Today, I have a really great guest with me. We've been talking quite a bit about lots of different things, but I've got Ian with EvolveMedia. How are you doing, Ian?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on your channel.
Awesome. A lot of you guys know when I talk about PPC, how important it is to have your listing optimized effectively. And one of those elements is the creative. That's everything from A+ content to your static creative in ads, maybe, or your video. So I really wanted to come and speak with you, Ian, and talk about what you do because you're a specialist in this field. But before we dive into it, what is your background? How did you get into this?
So I guess my background relating to this is I went to a creative college where I actually got my degree in audio engineering and did a lot of like in the studio type of stuff. It was Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida.
Nice.
And during that time of making music for college, for my own personal projects and things like that, I was doing a lot of video work as well, creating music videos for the artists I was working with, as well as myself, because I was creating my own music. And ultimately, I found that video is the future. Video is the way things are going. And so I kind of started skilling more into video, got more equipment, learned editing, learned the whole process of, lighting and all that kind of stuff. So really transitioned that into what we're offering now with our agency, which is doing photo and video services for Amazon sellers, where we will basically do full listing revamps, build out storefronts, brand story sections, and everything to overall increase the conversion rate for sellers on Amazon by getting top tier, high res product photos and videos so that ultimately it sells their product really well on Amazon.
Nice. And when did you start? When did you launch your company?
So this company I'm in right now, I started in early 2017. Before I started this company, I was actually in another company with some other business partners, and we were still doing agency work, but we were also selling our own products on Amazon, through ClickFunnels, on Shopify, all that kind of stuff. So I was running that company from 2015 to 2017. I got bought out of that company and exited in early 2017. And then I started this company, EvolveMedia Agency. Again, you can, I said again, but like, if you want to learn more about what we do, go to evolvemediaagency.com.
Nice.
But yeah, ever since 2017, I've been running this and we've been pivoting and doing different services. We were doing a lot more ad management, but ultimately I really liked the creative stuff. We were doing more like photos and videos and stuff. So graphic design and stuff like that. So we really just kind of let off on the ad management stuff and really skilled into the creative stuff.
So were you selling products? Was your company actually selling products on Amazon?
Oh, yeah. We did a lot of products. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we were selling a lot of political products. And so during Donald Trump's whole campaign, we were selling a lot of products related to him. So we were kind of piggybacking on that. And we ended up doing about $3 million in sales over a period of 3 months during his election. And so that was our biggest thing. And we were selling them through a ClickFunnels funnel, through Shopify, on Amazon. So multi-channel, and that's a lot of stuff that I pitch as well is why you should be not only on Amazon, you should be ClickFunnels, Shopify, and really as many in retail and stuff like that.
As many channels as you can possibly be. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. But it's nice to know, and I didn't know that you actually have that experience of being a seller on Amazon, because I don't have that. Many people know that I've just been doing, PPC since 2017, so forever. But I've actually never been a seller. I might actually change that. I keep saying I'm going to launch a product. I'm going to launch a product because it's good to have that, that experience of what a seller is going through. So I'm sure that experience led you into how to best optimize what you're doing, and that included obviously the creative and then also the video.
Yeah. And that was probably my biggest success selling products in that way. I've launched other brands and sold other products, but ultimately, sometimes when you sell a product on Amazon, China sellers will come in and kind of copy you. And then so some of those brands and products that I was selling kind of fizzled out just because the demand was decreased because there was so much saturation in sellers that I just kind of just let those one go and liquidated the inventory and stuff like that. So now instead of trying to sell my own products and sell our clients' products, I really just focus on agency work and really just doing the creative work and doing product photography, product videos. And it's been pretty fun. Just like we've got some really big clients that have 50 to 80 ASINs in their lineup. So we stay pretty busy on just revamping all their listings and doing more creatives and more ads, creating a lot of videos for ads that they use on Amazon and off Amazon, like for TikTok and other social platforms like that.
Cool. So since you've been doing this and you've been ingrained so long, like when a new client comes to you, do you audit their account or audit their creative and video? And is there some common like mistakes that you might see?
Yeah, we definitely do a lot of auditing. A lot of the mistakes that we'll see are people grabbing stock photos and then photoshopping their product into stock photos. And when they do that, they get the scale and the size wrong. And sometimes it just looks off. There's like a subliminal, just off weirdness to it. And shoppers can see that, and it does not help with conversion rates. So what I always recommend to our clients is like, invest the money, whether you have to hire an influencer, like a micro influencer, and pay a little bit of money and have a little bit of lower quality creatives, or you're doing it yourself, or you're hiring somebody on Fiverr, on Upwork, whatever you can do to get some real life creatives of real people using your products, go that route. Don't try to fake it and just do, photoshopping your products into stock photos. You can also mess with 3D renders, but still it's not the same. Customers want to see like real life stuff. And sometimes 3D renders are just too over polished. So you're setting the expectations like way up here on a perfect experience. And then they get the product and it's maybe the scale is wrong. Like they thought it was going to be larger. Usually that's always the problem, is they thought the product was going to be a lot larger. They get it, it's smaller. That gap between their expectations and reality results in a negative review. So if you can close that gap and you can set expectations accurately, the chances of you getting a positive review are a lot higher. So that's really been like the biggest problem and issue I've seen with a lot of sellers, is that they set the expectations either too high or just inaccurately, and then the shoppers are let down, resulting in a return or a bad review.
That has actually happened to me. I recently bought, I forgot what it was, but I expected it to be bigger than it was. And I got it and I was like, wait, and I had to return it because I was like, doesn't match website description. I think that's one of the things that, you can say as a return. I mean, that probably is the reason why, because, sometimes you're right. Shoppers don't go into the details and read the actual dimensions, right? They're just looking at the images. So if your lifestyle images are in there and it's showing scale, that's what they expect. And if it's off, absolutely, you're going to get a bad review, or in my case, just a simple return. That's interesting. When you were speaking about that, I was like, oh yeah, that's actually happened to me. I've actually returned something recently because of that exact reason.
So the size thing happens all the time. A really easy way to combat that, instead of graphic designing dimensions into your images, you can just have a hand. Have a hand holding your product. Typically, all of our human hands are the same size and stuff. So if you have a real hand holding your product, people can connect the dots and be like, okay, it's about this size. It's a really easy way. Instead of them having to break out their tape measure, they can just be like, oh yeah, it's the size of my hand. So that's a really easy way. But apart from the whole size thing, it's what is all included in features and benefits and things like that. Like I still to this day am trying to buy something and I'm trying to figure out, does it match this? Does it fit this? Does it have this little hole right here? Can I do, like I recently bought a little lockbox and, for like a key. And so a little combination lockbox. And so I wanted to know, okay, is the combination resettable? Can I screw this lockbox into a wall? Does it have holes on the back panel? What are the materials? Is it waterproof? Like I just wanted some basic things. And those were my like list of checkboxes to know, okay, is this a good product I want to buy? Yes or no. And so when sellers don't give all the information that shoppers are looking for, they're missing those checkboxes. Shoppers are not going to buy. So you want to make sure that you check off all the boxes that every shopper is potentially looking for. You make it very easy for them to find this information. They don't have to go hunting up and down your listing to try to find this information. So I like to have a lot of overlap in information between the A+ content and the main images. I like to assume that shoppers are just going to look at the images and not read the description, bullet points, all the other copy. They're just going to look at the images. So include as much information as you can in those images. Put the same information in the main images as well as the A+ content, and make it so that you check all those boxes for the shoppers so that you make it easy for them to make a buying decision.
Right. Absolutely. I'm assuming that also applies to the store too. You're going to put the same kind of images that you would in your A+ content also, on your store. And one thing that I see, and I don't know if you see this often, is, and this is maybe just another tip, congruity, like the look of the brand and the look of the images. Sometimes I'll come across a page where the A+ content looks like one style, and then their store, the images and creatives look like off or look different. To me, that's also kind of a breakdown in the feel, I guess, kind of like what you were saying with it, you can tell if an image has a stock photo just that was switched out in it. Like it just has that slight, like, this is off. Do you come across that a lot? And how do you ensure that doesn't happen?
Yeah. So I would say the whole congruence between photos, videos, storefront listings, what that ultimately does is builds a lot more trust, credibility, authority. It just makes your brand seem more professional, more refined. You can ask for higher prices when you have a very congruent branding across all your creative assets and photos and videos and things like that. Like a lot of sellers, when they order a photo shoot or a video shoot from us, they may be debating, I'll do a video now, and then maybe down the road we'll do a photo shoot. And I always tell them, like, look, it looks so much better from the shopper's perspective if we can shoot video at the same time we're doing a photo shoot, because when they're looking at all your listing images and then they click on that video, it's going to all look like it's from the same shoot, and it's going to build a lot more trust and credibility with the shopper versus if we do a photo shoot on this date and then we do a video shoot down the road or vice versa, they may not match up and it may just look different, and it's just not going to really fit into that like really professional brand. So if we're able to shoot both at the same time, but I mean, having consistent brand guidelines, having your storefront look the same as your listing pages, have everything just look top notch. That's going to build a lot more trust, result in more 5-star reviews, 4-star reviews, better reviews, and then setting the expectations accurately and trying to just make things look the same and so that you don't over promise and under deliver, basically.
Absolutely. Definitely. I 100% agree with that. What I know we've been talking about lots of different tips and things already, but do you have anything, I don't know, simple that people should be doing or looking at or looking out for when they're looking at their creative or their videos?
Yeah, so I would say when it comes to creating videos, there's a lot of different ways that you can influence the type of videos that you have. Social proof is a really great one, getting user-generated content created. And we can definitely help you. We've got a talent pool of models and content creators that can create different videos. And once you see a wide variety of different people on video, it kind of builds like this virality. It kind of seems like so many content creators are creating content around this that, man, it must be good. So it builds a lot of trust. So social proof videos are really good. Also, using data, a buddy of mine told me this tip, basically looking at keyword search data and looking at, okay, this long tail keyword phrase is getting X amount of searches per month and X amount of sales coming from this search phrase, and letting the data points of the, if you look in Helium 10 and you see what kind of keywords are getting certain search volumes, right? You can let that dictate what kind of videos that you get, that you get created, and then running those videos as ads, bidding on those type of keywords, so that when somebody types in this keyword phrase, they see your video in the search results, and it is very congruent with their exact search. That's been a really big thing, is like trying to make search results match the actual search terms as close as possible, because that checks that big box that the shopper was looking for, right? If they're looking for
absolutely
XYZ, So
I wonder who that buddy was that you were talking about that with.
I think he was an ex Helium 10 employee or something.
He shall be unnamed. It was me. Just so you.
So Vince, thank you for that idea.
I hope you can leverage content. I hope you can use that with your clients. It's super, super important.
And another thing that we did with a recent client was we did like this green screen type of video. Where we copied the listing of the product, where it had like the main image and then the title, the stars, the price. So we created that as an image, put that as a background, did a green screen video, and had a model kind of holding the product, dancing out in front of the green screen, which we changed to be that picture of the product. So when they're scrolling through the search results, it literally, the start of the video would autoplay, and it would basically look like an actual search result listing, but
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they'd see somebody dance on, and it was very attention grabbing,
Oh yeah.
eye catching. And so that was another really cool video creative, and it looped and stuff. So there are a ton of different like creatives and video ideas that you can use, whether it's dictated and inspired from data, or it's
Sure.
just inspired. And the whole goal is to be eye catching and attention grabbing and stuff. But
Yeah.
creating different creatives to build trust, grab attention, nail down on certain specific features of a product.
Mhm.
These
Yeah.
are all little things to test around with. And,
Yeah.
ultimately you find something that works, and then you scale into that. You create other little videos stemming off of that one idea that worked.
Yeah, absolutely. You showed me that the green screen one. I have to say, it's different, and I liked it. It just looks like a regular, product tile, but then all of a sudden you see this person dancing across the screen. It's like, oh wait, what is that? I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. This has been information packed session today in our interview, which I love. Where can people find you? I know you gave your website already. We'll make sure we put that in the notes. But where else can people get in touch with you and maybe see your work?
So we've got two free offers. One is an Amazon listing checklist, very robust checklist on all these things that you need to include in your listing. So you can get access to that by going to amzchecklist.com. Or if you want a free listing audit, where I will basically look at your listing, look at your creatives, and give you ideas on what kind of images and videos to get created, or overall refresh things and things like that. If you want a free listing audit, then go to amzchecklist.com. You can look at our portfolio, our pricing, and really look at how our work looks and what we're going to charge for that, as well as get a free listing audit all over a consulting call. So again, amzchecklist.com.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Ian. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we'll get some really good questions out of this session. I know I learned a lot. Hope you guys did too. We will see you next time.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome.